1 month ago, United States President Donald Trump issued a pardon to the former president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was serving a 45-year sentence in an American supermax prison for drug trafficking. Yet, for months before his pardon, the Trump White House had been ramping up pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, accusing him of the same crimes, being a narco-terrorist responsible for massive drug smuggling into the US. It's just one of the stark contradictions surrounding Trump's seismic decision to capture Maduro and bring him to face court in the US. It's not just that the president, who openly campaigned for the Nobel Peace Prize, has been as busy as any other US president when it comes to deploying the US military in foreign countries. In the past month, the US has bombed targets in Nigeria and Syria. In the past year, it's also hit targets in Iran, Yemen, and Somalia. Those strikes could be described as preventative, destroying potential nuclear sites in Iran and Islamic State terror targets in the Middle East. And when the first air strikes on Venezuelan boats began in August, it was similarly argued that it was about stopping the flow of drugs into the US. But in his press conference, hours after the capture of Maduro, Trump wasn't talking about drugs. He was talking about Venezuela's oil. We're going to have our very large US oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country, Trump said. What's more, he crossed a line that's been politically toxic in the US since the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, the idea of, once again, sending American soldiers into another country. We're not afraid of boots on the ground, Trump said on the weekend. Even more remarkably, Trump has hinted that the US would go even further in changing the regime in Venezuela and would run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. Then there are the hints that Cuba might be next, the site of one of America's worst boots-on-the-ground humiliations, the Bay of Pigs. I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up talking about, because Cuba is a failing nation right now, a very badly failing nation, and we want to help the people, Trump said. Trump is famous for making big statements that don't necessarily become reality. He's talked about taking Greenland and the Panama Canal. Just this week, he made another vague military threat to Iran over its treatment of protesters. But the incursion into Venezuela was bluster too, until it was real. Now, Trump has embraced a 200-year-old US foreign policy, the Monroe Doctrine, which essentially declares the Western Hemisphere to be the domain of the US. We sort of forgot about it, Trump said of the Monroe Doctrine. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. It's an interesting interpretation of the America First policy he campaigned on, but it appears there are strong voices in the Trump administration pushing exactly that, most notably his Secretary of State and the son of Cuban exiles, Marco Rubio. Don't play games with this president, because it's not going to turn out well, he said. I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it will be instructive going forward. Trump bypassed the US Congress in launching a military operation against Venezuela. For much of his time in office, that might not have mattered, as the Republican Party was in lockstep behind him. But the festering sore of the Epstein files and a stuttering economy has seen the first signs of dissent emerging among elected Republicans who rode on the wave of Trump's America First pitch, which included keeping America out of more deadly and costly foreign wars. Nor are the American people enthusiastic about this military campaign in Venezuela. Recent polling showed 53% of Americans opposed the boat attacks, and 63% opposed attacking Venezuelan soil, sorry about that. Trump has long defied political gravity, safe in the knowledge that his followers in Congress and in the MAGA or MAGA movement will follow him wherever he leads them. Whether they'll follow him into a new colonialism in Latin America or the Western Hemisphere is a big gamble. Which brings us back to Trump's pardon of the former Honduran president. One of the first elected Republicans to break ranks with Trump, Marjorie Taylor or Taylor Greene, called it out on X. If prosecuting narco-terrorists is a high priority, then why did President Trump pardon the former Honduran president, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was convicted and sentenced for 45 years of trafficking hundreds of tons of cocaine into America? This is what many in MAGA thought they voted to end.